A very warm welcome to RTV News in English. My name is Gloria Mutisi. Starting us off tonight, officials at the Rwanda Biomedical Center are urging the general public to tighten COVID-19 preventive measures as the holiday season approaches. Meanwhile, figures from the Ministry of Health indicate that in the last week alone, 180 people tested positive for COVID-19 across the country out of the 105,000 tests taken, meaning a positivity rate of 0.2%. Sessionary begins our coverage tonight.
Places of worship like churches are venues where many people gather, which is why church leaders regularly call on their followers to protect themselves from COVID-19.
I'm calling on all people that have not yet gotten vaccinated to do so. Those who have not yet been vaccinated should be encouraged to get the jab, and I talk to such people right here, showing them that it's not good to ignore such government initiatives. People who do not understand that have some serious issues that need to be addressed.
In other places where many people gather, such as markets and bars, it is not uncommon to see people not respecting the COVID-19 preventive measures in place, putting both themselves and others at risk. Even on the streets, you see people not wearing their face masks properly. Yet this is a blatant disrespect for the measures and will only result with us in another total lockdown. People who don't wear their face masks properly are not in line with our collective interests. We enforce social distancing and prevent things like people dancing together in large groups because nightclubs are currently not allowed to operate. Those are the sort of directives we enforce so that we can all protect ourselves from COVID. My advice to other taxi motorcyclists is to respect the measures so that the holiday season doesn't result in an increase in curfew hours or even another total lockdown being imposed. Figures from the Ministry of Health indicate that in the last week alone, 180 people tested positive for COVID-19 across the country, out of 105,000 tests taken, meaning a positivity rate of 0.2%, and on Saturday, 28 people tested positive for the virus in Kigali. First off, let us call on anyone that has not yet got vaccinated to do so because the vaccines are available, and it would be unfortunate for people to get sick just because they did not get vaccinated. As for those that have already taken the first jab, it's time they take the second. But please note that being fully vaccinated does not eliminate the need to continue practicing other preventive measures, especially as we begin the holiday season. People should avoid large gatherings, and it is clear that the infection rate has begun to steadily increase again. So if we are not careful, we could see another infection spike during the holiday season when it could have been avoided. 30% of Rwanda's target population is currently fully vaccinated, with the government pushing to fully vaccinate 70% by the end of next year. Top officials in the Ministry of Health are confident this will be achieved. We have enough vaccines to do it, and we believe we should surpass the 70% mark before December next year. We have everything we need, the vaccines, the personnel, and other logistical needs to do this, as well as the support of the people who want to get vaccinated. And that is why we believe we will hit the 70% mark before December next year. Currently, slightly more than 4.1 million Rwandans have been fully vaccinated, with another 6.8 million having received their first jab of a COVID-19 vaccine.
Officials in the Ministry of Youth and Culture have urged youth to hold on to Rwandan cultural values and to learn to use technology for the development of the country. The call was made at the Humba Solidarity Camp in Burera district, where more than 550 youth have begun their civic training. Stationary continues with this report.
The young men and women taking part in the training are youth representatives that were recently elected from all the country's 30 districts. As young people that will continue Rwanda's objectives into the future, it was necessary that they gather here for the training so that they may later serve using the sort of values our ancestors left us as our heritage. They must learn these things and what the current generation of leaders is working towards so that they will one day take up the mantle and continue with it.
bari gukora kandi nabo bazakomerezaho.
The 8-day civic training was organized by the Ministry of Youth and Culture together with the Ministry of National Unity and Civic Engagement, as well as other partners. This is very important to me and I expect to get a lot from this training. The first being the sort of leadership qualities Rwanda needs. I will also learn of the responsibilities of youth coordinators. The government did well to reintroduce this sort of civic training known as Itorero because it gives us a chance to remind ourselves of the importance of Rwandan cultural values. The youth are also being urged to properly use the available resources in order to help the country to continue developing. In all honesty, young people today have many tools that previous generations did not. Take technology as an example. It is certainly a tool that can help with Rwanda's developmental aspirations, and for those that use it to distort the country's history and insult the country, certainly our young people should not just sit back and take it. They should respond respectfully and present the truth of things. While those other people use technology destructively, we should use it constructively to help our country to develop economically. Since the civic training began for young people back in 2014, close to 118,000 have successfully completed it. Such trainings are important for the country's future when you consider that 75% of Rwanda's population is below the age of 35.
That made headlines this weekend is the just concluded Hunger Pitch Fest, which provides a unique platform where tech entrepreneurs from across the country showcase their innovations as well as promoting the use of technology. 5 young people were awarded for their innovations, with Diane Chuzuzo awarded $50,000 after her pitch was voted the best. Diane joins us this evening in studio to share with us about her journey and what this incredible win means for her. It's good to have you with us in studio tonight, Diane.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you so much.
So briefly talk to us about how your innovation came about and why you chose to bring together culture and technology.
Saying that our cultural tools are being replaced by products which are being imported from abroad, which are mass-produced and very cheap. Thus, our few remaining ones were being used in ornaments, decorative things, which are very expensive, and people are not finding reason to buy them, majority of them. So, and I was saying youth are more interested in technology. That's why I came up with the solution of mixing technology and preventing the extinct of our cultural tools so that I can modernize our cultural tools using their shapes and goes with technology. Yes.
And how does it work exactly?
By now, I'm manufacturing smart light bulbs and MP3 players. My smart light bulbs, they can work offline and online. They are smart as they can work on or off. If you are on the site or not, you can use just your smartphone, switch it on, off, dim the light, increase the brightness, and also you can change the color. Yes.
Sorry to cut you short. I imagine this is certainly a proud moment, emerging winner for this competition. But I also imagine it's an even prouder moment that you represent the female gender that is often left out in the technology sector. Talk to us about this journey from the time that you submitted your project, the challenges faced, and how you felt up to until this moment after winning. And in particular, what it means for you as a young person, more so as a female.
It was a challenging journey, but that's what made me strong, yes, to overcome that challenge. People were having a very nice projects which are very necessary in our community. It wasn't easy, and I think even for judges to select the best among the best, I think it wasn't easy. So I presented my project. I was very in need of capital, to increase my capital, to buy more machines which will help me in my production. So I presented them my idea, and I'm very happy that it was such, at least they were convinced by my idea. So that is that we've all seen it.
Absolutely, we've definitely seen it. And as a young person, what drives you to find homegrown innovative solutions such as these when you could easily choose to give a deaf ear to the challenges in society?
It wasn't easy for a girl to start a business, come up with an idea, especially in technology, but I overcame, and I'm really telling the youth, especially girls, we are able to do anything. No one to stop us. We are very lucky to be in this country like Rwanda, where we are being motivated, especially by our government officials like president. We are being given opportunities and support. So we have to use it, yes, and build the country we all want as Rwandans.
Absolutely. And before we came on air, you were actually telling me that you were a biology and zoology student before. How come there was a switch from that to now technology? What made you do that?
I studied biology because I love animals so much. Luckily, I'm a zoologist and conservationist, but I used to love technology, and I'm a person who loves our culture so much. I'm happy that I've been raised in a family who love culture, and they used to motivate us, telling us we are Rwandans, not only because we have been born here, but also because we are being represented by our tools, our language, the way we dress up. So that's how I said, oh, let me come up with this solution by using technology. I used to read a lot, so I combined them. I'm still a zoologist and conservation, but I'm also a businesswoman.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Did you imagine at some point, like from the moment you entered this competition and pitched your idea, did you imagine, or was it ever in your dreams, that today you'd be seated here being interviewed as the winner of the Hunger Pitch Fest? How does it feel?
It felt amazing being awarded, but since day one, I was like, we are all having great ideas, innovations. I think it will be very hard for judges to choose. And I was believing that I have a nice idea, but I didn't honestly think, oh, it will come to the end like that. But on some point, I was believing in myself. And at this time, I take this time to thank His Excellency to give us opportunities, especially youth and women, to never cease give us support. I thank Rwanda, ICT, RDB, and the Hunger Pitch Fest organizers.
Absolutely. Diane, before I let you go, what next after this? How do we see your project growing from here?
Starting by next year, I'm going to acquire industrial 3D printers and filaments to use. And I'm also going to start designing and producing my own motherboards, which will reduce expenses. I'm going to manufacture many. My products will be costing less money comparing to the one I was charging now. And I will come up with new designs, smart light bulbs, like agaseke, agachuma, akabindi. I will be having many different products and MPC players in ngoma shape. My clients will be happy. I'm coming with many choices, many products, beautiful one. I think they will like them.
Absolutely. Diane Chizuzo, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for
for
taking the
having me.
time to be here with us, and huge congratulations to you once again, and all the best in your future deliberations.
Thank you.
All right, that was Diane Chizuzo, who was the overall winner of the Hunger Pitch Fest that was concluded yesterday. Now, moving on, the Rwanda Energy Group says that the country's electricity distribution program has reached 67.1%, and that by the beginning of next year, all households in Kigali will have electricity. Take a look. In various parts of Kigali city and other parts of the country, new electricity poles have been installed. Some people have already been connected, while other households are waiting to be connected. For those that have already accessed the electricity, it's good news for them and will aid them in various ways. According to the management of the Rwanda Energy Group, there are currently 1,810,563 households in the country, accounting for 67.1% of all homes with electricity. Within Kigali City, Gasabo district has 12% of households without electricity, Nyarugenge district with 5%, and Kicukiro district with 2% of households without electricity. A cross-section of residents who have electricity poles in their neighborhoods but haven't accessed it yet say that there's a challenge with getting cash power meters. We've been waiting for the electricity, but they haven't connected us. Other people were given power, but it's not the case for us. It's been 2 weeks since we filed some dossiers, but we are still waiting. Nzaisenga Theoneste, in charge of electricity access rollout program at REG, says that Nyarugenge and Kicukiro districts will have electricity coverage by the end of this year, while Gasabo district will have full coverage by the beginning of next year.
It would have been complete by now, but along the way we were faced with challenges such as the lack of where to buy our equipment for construction, especially with the COVID-19 lockdowns, considering we buy most of our equipment from abroad, with industries working half capacity. We would have wanted for Kigali residents to all have power by December. So far, Kicukiro and Nyarugenge, that's almost done. And for Gasabo, they will have electricity by March next year.
Professor Tombola Gustav, an expert in social and economic development, as well as the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Kigali, says one of the most important infrastructures in transforming people's lives is electricity.
People shouldn't think that a livelihood is only made in Kigali, for everyone to have to move to Kigali. People should understand that the services they seek in Kigali can also be found in other places and secondary cities, because there are some services the government has extended to other provinces too.
According to a World Bank report, Rwanda is one of the 20 countries in Africa that is accelerating the distribution of electricity, considering that in 2010, the proportion of people with electricity was 10%. The country needs $1.5 billion to achieve this goal of distributing electricity to all households by 2024. The Ministry of Trade and Industry reports that the country's revenue from crafts, including basket weaving, is increasing, and that is evidenced by how the market has not been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The ministry also urges Rwandans to be more involved in the profession, as the existing market is larger than the existing artisanal activities. This is while in Ruhango district, artisans weaving various crafts, including baskets, say that the profession has changed their lives. Early in the morning, at a company operating in Bwimana sector in Ruhango district, trucks are loading different handicrafts, including baskets. The artisans speak of their achievements, including owning livestock, thanks to their work. We used to rent, but now we have our own house. I have livestock. I bought cows, and my 2 children are able to go to school. I can pay for them school fees and school requirements, and even at home, we're able to sustain ourselves thanks to this profession. Most times when people hear of handicrafts, they will think of baskets at first, but this company makes up to 2,000 different types of items. 90% of their products are shipped to the United States, 7% to Asia, and 3% to Europe. Statistics from Ruhango District Administration show that artisan and handcrafts work produces 900 million annually. The Vice Mayor in charge of economic development in Ruhango says that they've begun to distribute handicrafts in the district and make it a valuable profession because the market exists.
We have given ourselves a goal to make this profession a valuable one. Currently, we have already signed agreements with microfinances that give people money so that they can join this business. We have trained up to 527 people just these past 2 months, in addition to those that already existed. So this is good business for the residents that earns them good money.
Business ku baturage bibazanira amafaranga.
According to Jean-Baptiste Uwizigira, a statistician from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, he says that the value of handcrafts, including baskets, has risen to such an extent that the trade has not even been affected by COVID-19.
Honestly, the pandemic didn't affect the revenue brought in by the handcraft sector. The market for these products is big. If anything, it's the products that are few. We have markets in many European countries and America.
Figures from the Ministry of Trade and Industry show that in 2018, handicrafts exports were valued at 767 million, while for the past 10 months since January this year, exported handcrafts are valued at 7.119 billion. And as construction activities along the Sebeya River to hold back flood waters come towards their conclusion, residents who gave up land to make the project possible are asking to be compensated.
The reinforcements are meant to withstand the river's rising waters when it floods, and those in charge of the construction say they should be complete sometime next year. The dam will be able to hold back the water and only allow what Sebeya is able to hold comfortably. This latest dam comes following the completion of another 2 upriver, and local residents are encouraged by the way they have been performing. We suspect that the parts along the river that have not been reinforced could possibly flood again, but not upriver where the dams are located. Certainly, the recent rains have proved that they are holding the waters back, not like the way it was before. There are those, however, that claim that they were never compensated for the land they gave up to make all of this possible. We had a plot of farmland in the marshland, and when the projects to create buffers around Sebeya began, we had to vacate the land. The people who were registering vacated plots told us to tell the authorities about our compensation claims while presenting our land deed. So we wrote to the sector authorities and they said they would reply, but they never did. The project manager says all people with the proper documents for their plots have been compensated, but there are some cases that require litigation. Among the reasons some people could not acquire land deeds include some that need to go to court, and that is where their cases were sent. We are therefore waiting for the cases to be ruled on, and those that are awarded the proper land deeds will be paid. Other activities to stop the Sebeya River from flooding and also control soil erosion in the area include the cutting of terraces on surrounding hills and the digging of trenches. Local residents have also been given tanks to trap rainwater from their roofs.
Once again, thank you for choosing to stay with us today. It's always a pleasure to have your company. Have a great week ahead. God bless you and keep you. And until next time, I'm Gloria Mutesi. Bye for now.